Hello, good morning, student. Dear student, today I am going to explain summary of the first lesson. The name of the lesson is the last lesson. Today is a revision work. I have already explained the lesson. Now you will listen carefully. I am going to explain the summary of the lesson. The last lesson is given here. The summary of the lesson. This summary is followed by detailed explanation, and also there are many question and answer belonging of this lesson. This story is narrated by a boy. The name of the boy is French. French is a lazy but sensitive boy, and he likes to play. He dislikes studying French and hates his teachers, Mr. Hammer. After overpowering their district of Alsace and Lorena in France, Berlin has ordered that German language instead of French be taught in the school there. When the order has been reached there, only German language instead of French be taught in the school there. It is the last day of their French teacher, Mr. Hamel, who has been there for 40 years. Mr. Hamel passed 40 years in the same school. He taught the French language, all the citizens of the France in that school for 40 years. He is full of grief. Mr. Hamel was full of grief or nostalgia and patriotism as a mark of respect to his hard work. The villagemen also attend his last lesson. The villagemen also attend the last lesson of Mr. Hamel. They are sad. All people were sad. They did not learn their mother tongue when they have plenty of time. French in their childhood. French is shocked to know that it is his last lesson as he does not know French. He is not able to how to write, how to read. Now suddenly he gets interested in learning it and understand everything taught on that day by Mr. Hammer. He develops an instant liking for the teacher, Mr. Hamel, and respect him for his sincerity and hard work. He feels sad at departing from his and is ashamed for not being able to recite the lesson of participle. Mr. Hamel given the homework of all the students at that day he will listen the lesson participle, but but French was not able to recite this. He stood to catch the table only, and he was not able to recite the lesson about participle. Mr. Hamel tells them that they all are at fault for not being eager enough to learn. Mr. Hamel told all the French they are they had Mr. French tells all the French that they all are at fault for not being eager enough to learn, putting it off to the next day. They thought that they will learn next day, but Mr. Hamel blames himself for not teaching them so sincerely also. His patriotism is reflected in his praise for the French language as being the most beautiful language all over the world. It is very clear, clearest logical language in all over the world. Mr. Hamel tells that the class to guard their language as being close to one's language is the key to escape from prison of slavery. यहाँ पर मिस्टर हमद ये समझा रहे हैं कि यदि अगर कोई देश गुलाम हो जाता है, लेकिन जब तक अगर वो अपनी लैंग्वेज को वहाँ के लोग जानते हैं, तो फिर भी उनके पास उस कैद से निकलने की वो एक चाबी होती है। इंस्लेव prison of slavery कह रहे हैं, it will help them in getting free from the Germans. They realize the importance of learning their mother tongue and that they had been defeated by the Germans because of their illiteracy. French feels that it is not possible to take away one's language from a person as it is natural to each being, may it be the coup to the pigeons or French to the Frenchmen. At last, when Mr. Hamel was teaching them, he wants to say something, but his throat was choked. He was not able to say more words because he was so sentimental. At last, Mr. Hamel, took a piece of chalk and write of his full strength in a large word in the blackboard, Viva la France. So that this is the end of this summary. Dear student, listen this summary carefully. Then you will be able to you will be able to know what is the lesson, and you will be able to understand what is the theme of the lesson, what is the description of the lesson. Thank you.